We're live. At least I hope we are. Happy New Year, everybody. Well, I say happy, as happy as it can be, living under this current shit cloud that is COVID. But it will get better, if providing we obviously do all what we're told, and hopefully we'll all be back riding and racing in March. As you can see, this is the first episode of Dirty Talk 2021. And well, I've got my two good buddies on for the first one. It seemed very appropriate to get them on, considering they're both out there taking on arguably the hardest championship in the world. So without further ado, thanks for all tuning in. Remember, if you leave a comment on either our YouTube channel or Facebook, just punch it in like you regularly would. We all get to see it, so we can ask Dylan and Micky any questions that are popping up. So get commenting below. Just punch in anything you want to ask us. We see it on the comments board and firing some questions at these two. So without further ado, let's bring in, well, I've known him a very long time, been part of the Team Green program. I've also known Micky quite a long time, so it's obviously cool to get them both on it. It's great to see this story develop and where Dylan is now. So let's get him on. More sugar, if you will, please, for the Essex Ginger Ninja. Taking that away from Adam Chatfield a bit, but this one's got some proper flock of hair. There he is, Dylan Woodcock, still on his phone in his camper van, giving it some more sugar. And also, before we speak to you, let's bring in Michael Carter, better known as Micky, who left Essex a long time ago to go over there and create California motocross holidays to great success. There's Micky.
How you doing, Jeff?
Mick? All right. Now, if you're wondering what the connection is between these two, basically, Dylan, a long time ago, I think we first went out in 2014, and we thought, well, who do we know in California who's English? That always helps. And Micky was out there already doing his California motocross holidays. And so we hooked up, and then this little story began. And now Dylan's back again. So let's start with the story, first and foremost, Dylan, of picking it up for this year. Obviously, we did the Monster Cup back in 2014, and Micky came along, helped us out with all organising all that. But this time, AMA Supercross, which you've done before, but in a very different way you're doing it this time. And I think a lot of people are underestimating this. It really is a proper privateer effort. You are now, when you're back home, working on a building site and training to be a stuntman. So you are full privateer.
Yeah, full on. Well, there was possibility that I wasn't going to come because of not of work, but there was possibilities that I had things lined up and stuff like that, and obviously the whole COVID. So I was just going to blow like, oh, forget it. This year we'll do something else. And then there was a chance I could come, and I spoke to Micky. I just literally texted him. I just said, Micky, I'm coming, and he was like, for what? And I was like, Supercross, and he was like, all right. So I come the first time, and then they turned me away, and then I was working with my mate Harry, and then I figured it out. Connie from the AMA put a thing on my passport, and then I text Micky and said, I'm just about to take off. I'll see you in 8 hours. And he was like, all right. So I don't think Micky actually left his house till I landed. He didn't trust me so much. So I was at the airport just laying on my kit bag, and Micky and his wife Megan come pick me up, and went and bought a bike with all my money, and then now I'm here.
Micky, things don't change, do they, eh? Still babysitting him after all this time. He needs tough love, doesn't he?
He does. It's all right though. We treat him like he's our son when he's over here. He's been coming so long. He was like a kid when he come over, and now he's grown into a man. He's got a little beard and everything. But he's still a pain in the ass. I actually shaved it off before we went racing because I raced at Elsinore and it got a bit itchy, so I had to have a little trim up.
You're itchy while you were riding. You're any excuse for you to do one of those chin grabs or take your hand off the handlebars. That's all.
You know what? I'm normally all arms and legs, but on this trip I've done rarely any whips, no dog pisses or nothing. And Micky's been pulling up on it, so hopefully Tuesday we can let some legs go, maybe a little grab or something.
Yeah, Micky, you've been an integral part actually in teaching him the skill set and obviously taking him to the tracks over there. When we first come over, you and I and Ed Warren, who's already commented, actually, Ed's watching. Obviously, we first came over and you was with Ed. This is Ed's comment, by the way.
Cute couple.
Cute couple.
He's only jealous.
You know, and so we first came over to do, I think, did we do Mammoth before we did the Monster Cup? I can't remember. Dylan,
I think we done Monster Cup, and that was when Ed was there with Micky, and then that was when I was melting at the track, and then we met them, and then we see Micky at Star West, and we asked him for a tire gauge or something that we didn't have because we didn't have a clue what he was doing. We just had a bag full of tools that we brought with us, and then I heard the English accent from Micky, and then it just all started from there. Then we got, I think it was Micky and Ed at Milestone when I was trying to jump the triple, and they was like, "You can jump that one, you can jump." And I was a bit like, I didn't know who these guys were, and I thought they were pretty cool, so I was just jumping it because they was telling me to do it.
Yeah, it was cool to bump into some English people out there because obviously I was on the tools, and as I think it's fair to say, you two will back me up on this. I'm no grade A mechanic on spinning the spanners. I'm all right with the basic stuff.
Good at cross-threading things. That's about it.
Don't give me that. That was already cross-thread. I had to go back and repair all the carnage you left behind.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so going back to the story then, Dylan. So obviously the first time you got turned away at the airport. So, I mean, that must have been touch and go. And obviously straight away, did you then have to book another flight costing even more money?
Well, when I booked the flight, my dad like has like a I don't know, like air miles. So he booked the flight, and then we paid for it, and then it said there was like a possibility to get insurance with it. So I got insurance with it. So if I didn't make it, I could spend it elsewhere and stuff like that. So then I just rang them when I was on my way home from the first time and said, "Look, I can't make it. It's possible that I can go back. Can I just reschedule the flight?" So I just basically rescheduled it, and then I didn't lose any money. I think I had to pay an extra tenner for the flight, so it was nothing.
So, Micky, how's it been since he turned up? Dylan, remind us, when did you fly over there first and foremost? So that obviously the race was on, Saturday. I've still got bleary eyes from staying up watching it. But then, so when did you fly? You flew just before Christmas, didn't you? If I remember rightly.
Mate, I don't even know.
It was about the 18th.
I don't even know. I just rock up.
Micky, this is your department. Clearly, it just goes to show how this dynamic works. When did he rock up on your door?
It was the 18th, around there. Dylan's good at riding. That's about it. So he does the riding bit. I'll figure the rest out for him.
I bet Lenny is watching this and Dylan's nan going, "Yep, that's about right." Yeah.
My nan helps me out a lot. I've been on the phone to her about 1 million times. Bless her.
Without getting all soft on this show, there's a Nanny is watching. See?
Yeah, she loves it. She's full moto nan. She loves it.
So watch your language. So you got there and you settled in. So listen, this is a real privateer story. Now I know I'm gonna stick up for you here because obviously probably some people are going, don't give us that crap. It's all bought and paid for. Dad Lenny's sticking his hand in his pocket again. I think Lenny, if we had him on, he would say, "Look, I'm done with that. He's done more than his fair share of that." So my
old man's sick of wasting money on me, not doing it for myself. So I think when I told him I was coming, I was expecting him to go, "Yeah, here's a few grand gone," and he was like, "No, you've got money now. You've been working. It's your time. So if you're gonna figure it out, you need to figure it out for yourself." So, to be honest with you, the program we got going on is loose. I'm with Nick Schmidt on the road, and then Micky is obviously has wife. He has a life, so Micky's just helping me for free. So he's just being a great friend or dad or whatever you want to call it. So I've paid for his flight to come here, and then he's going to go home in between to see his wife. So he's going to pay for that, and I'll pay for him to come back. So it's just we're just winging it day by day, but just keeping it fun and having a good time, and like we stayed in a hotel with Nick Schmidt and his mechanic, 2 double beds, so there was 4 of us in a room for 3 nights. Then we stayed at I just met this guy called Kerr. He rides for the team. We stayed at his house last night, and then now we're staying in a camper that has 3 beds with 4 people.
I hope we're not going to hear one of these horror stories where you get abducted or you get stuck with the wrong crowd or whatever when Micky goes back. It's not going to be like Hangover Micky, is he? Where you go home and then all of a sudden he goes AWOL.
It could be.
Don't push it past me. I'm known to pushing red buttons. It's all right.
But I mean, that's great, Micky, that you're going out there and helping him. So I mean, obviously, like I said, we know what Dylan's like. He's obviously saying listening to this, but he has matured, and obviously become a young man. But is he taking on board a bit more now, obviously, than when you and I, when he was younger, it was a bit hit and miss whether the information was actually going in.
Yeah, for sure. Like before he even came, I could hear it was totally different the way he was acting. He was training more and enthusiastic to get out here and do his laps and so on. And I was excited for that because, to be honest, before he was just kind of like, yeah, we'll just ride. And, he knows there's a little bit of hard work that's got to be put into it, So he's still not as hard work as I'd like, but we got some out of him.
Yeah. So, Dylan, so what happened then because you have to drive out there? How did that work then, Dylan? So if Micky flew, first of all, I guess you had to what did you do? You went to Meckler Motorsports and bought a bike? Where did the bike come from?
If you met my friend that I drove out here with, you'd be like, are you sure he just drove that vehicle? One of my friends, Lucas Frenchie, his dad's a trainer. His dad trains Joe Shimoda, and he's actually Nick's mechanic and lives at his house. But he had a big crash when he was younger and he was paralyzed. But now he has feeling in his legs, but he just can't feel his feet. So it was me and him driving. I didn't even know you can drive a car. So I was like, got in the car thinking, am I about to drive 20 hours straight through the night and not have no one drive? And he was like, no, I love driving. I was like, all right, mate, like, go on, hop in the van. And we drove. He drove till it got dark, and I drove through the night. And then we stopped, had a quick little baby wash, and then we got back on the road again. It was, I think, all in all, it was 23 hours of straight road tripping, but it was fun. I seen some things that I probably won't ever see again. Like I just see endless mountains and dust clouds, and it was crazy to see. Like these little towns, just literally like hundreds of miles in the middle of nowhere. Like how these people live, I don't have a clue. But it was exciting. It was just me and Frenchie, and I think we stopped 4 times for fuel and just had a good laugh and played a bit of music, and that was it.
Like Dumb and Dumber, wasn't it? Like you two traveling across, should imagine. Micky, just a measly 20 hours. I mean, you whiz back and forth, but obviously you ride yourself a lot and do a lot of the big races. You've done the mini O's a couple of times, didn't you? So you've had to drive all the way out there from California. So I mean, it must be an amazing experience driving across America. I mean, we're fortunate to say we've done it, but I mean, it must be pretty cool. That experience alone must be great.
If I'm honest, Jeff, I've only ever done it once, and I'll probably never do it again. I like to fly, Jeff. I like to fly.
Micky's VIP. He just doesn't get paid. He just gets paid in like a few beers or a Stella or something.
Oh, he's living the dream. Well, that's team management for you, Micky, isn't it? See, you've worked your way up now to do that. But obviously, like you say, you've got you're an accomplished rider yourself, and obviously a lot of the tracks and stuff, and you're well connected over there in California. So it must be. I mean, that must help in helping Dylan with his program. Have you managed to get to some tracks that only really because the right people to get to?
Yeah, there's a few options like that, and obviously it does help if you know someone to get your foot in the door. Roger from Sevens helping Dylan out, and since he didn't really know who Dylan was, if I'm honest, and then he spoke to some guys in England, and now he's made the main. Just before this show, you can see Dylan's got a new T-shirt on. He's been dropped off a bag of stuff.
Yeah, so this just happened before this, literally, folks, because I was chatting to these two in our green room before we came on, and this bag of swag was dropped to Dylan literally about 20 minutes ago. So what have you got in there, Dill? Hold it up. Let's see what you got.
I've just got a few hoodies and T-shirts and stuff, but I know Roger, like everyone kind of knows who Roger is through Seven and stuff like that, and one of my friends, Duran Stapleton, we went to his office and Duran was like, yeah, I've been riding 2 months and I'm feeling good. And he went, how long have you been riding, Dylan? I went, I haven't yet. And he was like, what? And then I think he was a bit scared. And then we went back, me and Mick, to go pick my kit up. And I had like 3 sets of kit, I think, with like just minimal logos on. And I done a race at Lake Elsinore and got on the podium and earned a bit of money, and my name got out there a bit, and then we went back and there was like 10 sets of gear with my name on it. So I think I made a bit of a name for myself, taking a few guys out and stuff, not taking any crap. But no, it was good fun. Like me and Micky, like it's even nice, a bit of like a a wild show. Like we're all over the show. We're having fun. And we're smiling, even though it's like we're kind of living a bit.
But that's privateer. That's privateer life. I mean, it's a hell of a story. I mean, you know, to go and race anywhere in America is one thing. To go and do the Supercross as a fully fledged privateer.
To make a bit of money, and like if I go buying hotel stuff, I'm not going to like make much money. It's going to spend it all again. But I see guys out here staying in transits. Drove out here for like it's crazy what these privateers do.
That's how
I've not got it too bad, so.
So let's go back to that race at Elsinore. You won yourself a bit of money. Micky, when he went into that race, what was your expectations of how he'd do? And obviously that was a good gauge to where you think he would be going into Houston. So, I mean, what did you think at the time that evening when he was racing? Did you think there and then, like, okay, we've got a shot at maybe making the final at Houston?
To be honest, you didn't know he was going to show up, so didn't have no expectations. Just realistically was just to get the nerves out for, you know, it's just another gate drop. He hadn't rode in a while before coming out, and then hadn't raced since, I think, the straight rhythm race in England. So it was more just to get some gate drops and some racing experience. But after the first one, he actually got a good start and rode not great, but still finished third. So then after that, I was expecting him to be a good night. But it was more just, like I said, the racing experience, because Dylan, like, he practices really well, but he does get nervous sometimes when it's pressure, you know. But I think it helped a lot doing that, and then going to the first round of Supercross at Houston, he wasn't half as nervous as he was at Elsinore when there was hardly any guys compared to here in Houston, you know.
Yeah, literally.
So what happened with the bike? Dylan, you bought your own bike with the money that you've been obviously saving up. By the way, but hold on, before you answer that, I don't know if you've seen the comments coming in, you two. You might not, because particularly you, Micky, did on the phone. I know you said that it might have cost you only a tenner to get your flight changed. Dad's come on. Lenny has come on. I'd just like to point out that Lenny, that's the one thing that Lenny is helped out with, but the rest you do on your own. And he had this comment after you said it only cost a tenner. There you go. It may have cost you an extra tenner, son, but that flight cost me another 1,300 quid.
Yeah, but he's saying that. He's got the money for the ticket, the idiot. So he's just absolutely cutting crap. He's got the money for the ticket, so he's just trying to make out that he spent dough.
I tell you what, it's an uncanny.
Yeah. He's in that, man. He loves it. And he'll be commenting on a minute. Oh, you've called me out. But no, I had two Yamahas before, and they didn't even. Well, they was 2017 bikes, and I said to Micky, like, we need to sell these because they was a bit temperamental. Like they was tuned off their heads. Like they was fast bikes, and they both didn't start and both didn't have titles. So Micky managed to sell them somehow. They didn't even start, so he sold them.
I'll just bring up the UK viewers watching it. Titles is basically like a document you got to have for ownership of a bike in America. That's what Dylan's on about there, and you've got to have one to sell it. Micky, I won't even ask how you got rid of them, but doesn't matter. That's privateer life.
Yeah, so we got rid of them, and then I had some money, and I'd just been saving up a bit more because obviously it was a brand new bike, and bikes are expensive. They're like 9,500, I think, 9,500. And so I rang Ollie from PC and just said, have you got any bikes kicking around? And he said, we got a few. What do you need? And I'd said, can I have a bike with a pipe? And he said, yeah. So
you must be a bloody good cement mixer to earn that kind of money.
Well, I've been doing a few movies and stuff. So
of course you have, yeah. Fair play. Oh, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute as well. Obviously, training to be a stuntman. It's not your average story.
No, it's not, but me and Lenny are not your average people, so it's a bit Looney Tune. But, so I bought the bike and I rode it. I just wanted a Kawasaki because I'm obviously gonna hopefully ride a Kawasaki in the UK at the Supercross there, and maybe do something with Kawasaki in the UK. So I just thought maybe keep it all green. I like Kawasaki, and I thought let's get back on that. And to be honest with you, I have the bike stock. Like I've bought a clutch. That's because I keep going. Yeah, don't worry. I didn't have time, we didn't have no time to change it.
Well, we'll get onto that in a minute. We'll get onto that.
So, anyway, I bought a clutch, so we're going to put a clutch in it. But to be honest with you, there's a picture of me, and it's just, as long as you get a good start at Supercross, I think you're good. The only time I kind of really lose speed or I need a bit of power is the whoops. But Micky always told me, you need to hit the whoops in 5th gear. And I was like, oh, I am. And then this trip, I eventually grew some balls and got in a 5th gear. And when you're in 5th gear in the hoops, it's a different game.
The trouble is, Micky, he doesn't know what gear he's in. That's half the trouble. He's such a natural rider. He doesn't even know what gear he's in. We've had this conversation before. So let's talk about when you got there then. Okay, so you get there. You're working. So this time, Micky, I'm guessing, obviously, you normally run out of, you bring all the setup for him and all that. Have you got all that going on, Dylan? Are you using the CMH setup and all that?
Where we drove out with Nick, I've got the CMH gazebo and a table and a mat and a stand, and we got our bike. And then the All South team, Abby, is she's a really nice lady. She runs the team. Her dad used to have the team, and her dad passed away, so she just kind of kept it going. And she's like kind of not helping privateers, but she's like just doing it because her old man loved it and for like him, you know. And I'd never met her, so my mate Nick, and he just run there and said, "Oh, I got this kid from England. He's gonna come. Can he put his bike on the truck?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." So we got the bike on the truck. We got a gazebo. We got a little parts box, and that's us. So after this race, once we've drove home from this race, we're gonna fly to the rest.
Good stuff. Let's go over to you now, Micky, because I want to know what your reaction was when you flew in. So you get there. Now you've worked with Dylan enough. As I said, he's been over 4 or 5 times since 2013 or 14 when we first came over. What was he like? I mean, you've seen him. Obviously, Dylan, we had that experience of the Monster Cup, and now you were basically shitting yourself on the start line as a 13, 14-year-old kid for the Monster Cup. But that's another story. What was he like, Micky, when you got there? You know, was he buzzing around, you know, like real nervous? Did you have to sort of pacify him a little bit, or was it all calm and everything under control when you got there?
No, to be honest, everything was all right. This whole trip he's been a bit more laid back, and we had a little bit of stuff to do with the bike when I arrived, but it took us an hour and we got all of our passes we needed and straight in. Realistically, it was pretty simple. Dylan's been pretty chilled, to be honest, and I think that's helped him with his riding because when he's nervous, he rides at 75%. You know, he's not in full self. You know, so the more relaxed he is, the more you're going to see the natural Dylan, and the further up the front he'll be in the main events, hopefully.
Yeah. So how did it go then? All the practice. I watched some of the practice. Obviously, you know, you can watch it live. So missed actually your first session, but saw the second one. And then how are you feeling into the night show? Yeah, practice looked pretty good. The track obviously was a bit wetter in practice. I mean, that would suit you a little bit, Dylan.
Yeah, it was wet, but I was a bit disappointed in the whoops, to be fair. Like, I've kind of mastered the whoops a little bit now, like got some confidence. So they was not very big. So it's that was a shame. But the hardest thing on these tracks is just getting the big rhythms, because obviously the guys ride press, so they all have the rhythms down and all that type of stuff. So once I had that down and just kind of clicking off laps and stuff like that, just trying to be most relaxed as possible, because when you're tight, you're worrying, and just try to have fun. And I feel like it was a bit of more of a different approach this year with everything. Like, we was all relaxed, everything just went super smooth, like from the COVID test to the bike to signing on. So it was everything was chilled, and that was it really. Just was
it the most relaxed you've been? I mean, obviously I've seen you. You know, you are who you are. You know, you like a life. You're a likable character. But I've also seen you, like I said, sat on. I know you were much younger then. Sat on the start line at the Monster Cup, just literally looking at me as if to say, like a rabbit in the headlights, going, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here." Was it you know, just genuinely much more relaxed?
It's not as nerve-wracking as it is normally, because they do the whole fireworks and stuff, but it's obviously nerve-wracking because you've got all them people trying to judge you from back home, and they don't know they don't know what's happening behind the scenes. So they're like, "Oh, he's just rocked up and jumped on this bike," but like you say, drove all this way. So it's a lot of pressure, and it's not a lot of pressure, but I put a lot of pressure on myself because I'm spending my own money. So if I don't make no money back, I'm spent off a lot out of pocket. So I've neither got to make the main and do good and make some money, or so it's neither do or bust. So I just kind of went out there with that mentality.
Well, that's the way to do. I mean, ultimately, you're making a life story no matter what happens. You know, you can now say, obviously, you've qualified for a Supercross main and you did it you did it, you know, your own way and whatever. So let's get on to the night program. Obviously, you were looking good. The track was drying out. Like many Brits, there was so many people supporting you at home. I've definitely seen a lot of that, which is brilliant. It's great to have an Englishman in there, as much as we obviously Dino, which hopefully I'll try and get Dino on the show soon. But obviously for an Englishman out there with Max being out, a lot of people tuning in. We know Supercross is huge in the UK. So there's a lot of people supporting you. Was that on you mentioned it a little bit, but was on your mind a little bit, or did you just channel out once you got on that line?
So much on my mind. I'm past the point. I'm a bit older now, so I'm past the point of people caring what they think if I don't make it or make it. So I was just, a few of my friends messaged me and said like good luck, and my mate Stephen Clark, I think he had a few too many beers, so I think he was starting GoFundMe pages and all sorts of crap. But
that's done all right though, isn't it?
No, to be honest with you, I don't want to ask no one for money. I'm not that guy. I'd rather just spend all my own money and have.
Well, I'll tell you what we do. We'll ask on your behalf. So I don't know how, but I'm going to get off this show and we're trying to think of a way for people to try and support you. Jack Brunel, I was talking to Jack Brunel today. He came up with a good idea. So maybe we should use Jack's idea. I thought it was a good idea. He's like, look, you're out there doing it, which is massive.
2 seconds. Mickey, can I turn on the generator? Because I'm about to run out of charge on my laptop.
I think you got to start the van.
This is brilliant. Start the van, Dylan, and I'll talk to Mickey. Talk about privateer life, eh? Don't they have hookup at the Supercross?
Oh, it's all over the show.
They get it at GPs. No, I don't want to start that debate.
If I leave the show, can I come on my phone or not?
Just leave your phone there and go and do what you got to do. It's all right. Just leave your phone on like it is. Start the van. So Mickey, now he's off air. I don't know if he can hear us or whatever. So obviously it's Mickey's gone. No, he's back. Hold on. No, he's back. Good. So it like you joke about it a little bit, saying it's like being like looking after him as a son. But I mean, it literally, he's been coming over, and you and Megan are both busy, particularly with California Motocross Holidays, which, let's be honest, has kept you. I mean, you've built that into a pretty successful thing. So when did you first go over there and start that? Let's just talk about that. Why Dylan's just getting back.
I think it was 2006. I came over to just come out and ride and have some fun with some friends, and I kind of fell in love with America and just wanted to come back out. And I just I think it was probably 2010 when I finally set up CMH. Didn't really plan on it, but it kind of just all fell into place and ended up having a few bikes and friends coming over, and then friends told friends, and then turned it into a real business. You know, the first few bikes that I ever bought were from Troy Lee, actually. I bought some Hondas from Troy Lee. I think David Pingree was a team manager at the time, and I kicked him in the nuts for some cheap bikes, and that's how we started CMH.
And then, I mean, literally, you've worked hard. I mean, every time we've come over there's been loads of bookings. And that's the other thing. You're hands on with it. It's not like you just like, oh, okay, let everybody else. Yes, you've had people come over to help, but when I say you're hands on, I mean you're loading the bikes up, unloading them, cleaning them all off. The people that do come over, I mean, they get the full experience of being like a top rider, because realistically, you don't ask them to do anything other than take care of their own kit.
No, we try and do everything. We kind of market as like you live the factory life for the week or however long you come for. To be honest, the guys always try and help, but it's just easier to do it yourself. We know where everything's going to be, and we just try and do everything for them so they get that factory feel for the week. Yeah.
And I mean, so obviously it's been a difficult year though. I mean, for everybody, admittedly, but I mean, you must have found it hard. Maybe not so much with the riders in California coming out, but as in people, Americans, but obviously it must have knock-on effect of people not being able to travel from Europe.
Yeah, the travel bans really hurt. Obviously, this time of year, we normally got Anaheim or the Supercross is in the area, or just people coming over to ride to get out of the winter from the Europe, But with the travel ban coming on, we've had no customers. So, I mean, it's a shame, but I think when this ban gets lifted, we will be busier than ever, I'm thinking, I'm hoping. We're still getting a lot of inquiries, but there's nothing I can really tell anyone right now. As soon as that ban's lifted, I'll see you the next day.
Well, you're getting some glowing reviews coming in, actually, while you're talking about that. Jamie Smith, there you go. He's the best one in America. Hey, look at this. What a great sales pitch when Dylan goes off and starts the van up. Ollie Hopwood, there you go. Highly recommended. In fact, I'm planning to come back out.
I think Ollie Hopwood, he come out here and he actually messaged me on Instagram and he said, if you make the main event, I'll give you £100. So I had a deal with him. I think he actually gave me £100.
Right. Before we get talking about the whole experience at Houston and Tuesday, tomorrow night coming up, let's just go back to what we're saying. So Jack Brunel sort of came up with an idea there. I was chatting to Jack about a few things, and he said, he goes, we should maybe do something that give Dylan. So we're not giving Dylan money, but we're giving him an incentive. We should have a thing that people could donate $5 if you make the main.
Yeah, right.
And then so then people might reward you, and you might make a bit of bonus money for people that like you and support you as an incentive. Yeah. So you got something to shoot for to try and make the main, a little bit of bonus money. So I think we should try and push that.
Yeah, maybe I'm not just spending it on Nike trainers and nice hats. You know what I mean? I'm putting it straight into the bike.
Those days are gone. Yeah. God, that used to wind me up when we were out there, Micky. We go shopping and he'd just be spunking money on. Never even wear it.
No. Don't get me wrong. I've got some nice shoes in that back at home, but it's not really a thing in America, is it? So.
to be honest, though, Jeff, you incentivize him with a bit of money, and that helps a lot. When we did the Elsinore race, I just told him how much he was going to win if he gets third or if he got fourth, and there's a lot of guys that went. There's a few guys went off the track.
More sugar deal. Yeah,
everyone needs a bit more sugar in their life. You've got to have fun, haven't you? You know what I mean? Like, we're all smiling. You've got to have a laugh and a joke. So,
Linus Needham has come on. Obviously, Linus, good to hear from you. He reckons $5 if you make the main. If you don't make the main, you got to have a haircut.
No, I've already made the main event, so that's out the window.
Right.
Listen, everyone's on my case about the hair, but it's doing all right with the females. They seem to like it when I tie it up and that. So
I mean,
so all the fellas that keep giving me jip about it, keep it coming because I love it.
Dealbot, I'm not knocking it. You know, I had hair twice as long as that.
Well, I'm saying.
We're going back some years, Jeff. If you
we're going back a long time. We're going back a long time. Maybe not quite as ginger as that, but twice the length. Yeah, and I could grow a proper beard.
Listen, I can grow a beard. I just trimmed it off because I chose to. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Well, at least you haven't got that thing that McGrath's going on, that little slug thing under his lip. Anyway, enough about that. Let's get back to the actual event then. So, Dylan, you're in that LCQ. No, sorry, not in the LCQ. You're in the qualifier, the heat. You made it into the night program.
Yeah.
You didn't see you much on screen, but obviously they got the running order down the left. And my God, it was changing all the time, but we couldn't see you. And I know there's loads of people watching going, come on, Woodcock. And then you were there. You were ninth. You were just above that red line for all the race. And then what happened?
In there, and there was I was actually 8th when we watched the race back last night. So I was 8th, and like me and 9th were going like back and forwards, and 10th was right there. So I was trying to pass 7th, I think, because I was 8th. I don't know, but I was trying to make a pass, and this guy was riding wide, so he was riding good, and I just was going outsides, insides, because trying not to follow in Supercross, because if he makes a section wrong, I'm going to either land on him or crash myself. So I was just moving around the track, and I ended up getting passed by 2 guys, like literally on the last lap, which was a bit. It kind of almost fueled me up for the LCQ. I was don't think much talking was going on between me and Micky. It was just straight. It was not a lot. So when we went down to the LCQ, I was pretty hummed up on the start. I was warming up, jumping around, just kind of trying to work it all out. And as soon as that gate dropped, I was full gas. So it was good. And when I come off the start, I never really think about like what happens after you get after the gate, but the corner was so wide that I like kind of let the guys go, and then I just tucked up the inside because it looked like I was like almost last. And then as the guys pushed out, I just nipped up the inside, and I managed to pass a few guys, and I won the LCQ. But I did jump on the red cross
Right.
flag.
I was
But
going to speak to you about that. Yeah. So
they,
basically,
they put it out. So I didn't even know this. So the guy that was in second, me, like I said, when I went to Minio's on the other show that we done, when I went to Minio's, it was actually him and Chase Sexton that I was like kind of like hanging around with. But looks so different now. I didn't even remember what he looked like. So he's like trying to talk to me, and I'm like in the zone, like trying to. Well, don't know no guys here, so they just think I'm this.
you were dissing Chase Sexton.
No, not him. It was Jeremy.
Oh.
His name's
Right.
Jeremy Hand. His name's Jeremy Hand. But he was a good. He was a good friend of mine when I was racing Minions. He's like trying to talk to me. I'm like, who's this guy trying to talk to me now? Is he trying to like get him? Like, I'm like, kind of like, not like cool guy in him, but I'm like not talking to him, you know. And then he come up to me, and I looked at something on Facebook before we went out, and I knew it was him, so I was speaking to him. So anyway, the red cross flag went out as I was tripling, but you was landing in ruts, so it was like triple, and I just didn't want to. I just went for it, but I stopped and said sorry to the flagger. And
we saw that. That's what I was going to say. Right, so obviously in the LCQ, you had plenty of airtime, which was brilliant. I don't mean literally airtime; I meant TV time. Plenty of mentions, which was great. Micky, was you on the board? I couldn't see if you were boarding him. Were you out there boarding him?
Yeah, I was. After the first lap, I think he was third as he come past me. And then the next lap, he was in second. And then I just put on the board, win, ? Because I didn't want to, he had a little bit of a gap, but I didn't know whether to just say, like, chill out or go for it. Yeah, when he jumped on the flag, he went past me looking at me like I was going to tell him what to do. And
he threw his hand up, didn't he? He went past, because we all saw that. You went past Micky. That's why I assumed Micky was on the board, because we all saw you ride by and go, oh, now what? What do I do? And obviously,
I thought it was game over, but so yeah, they done that, and they just docked me 2 positions when I went down, which was lucky. So luckily I won. So it wasn't so bad. But I haven't won a race in a little while, so it was quite a good feeling just to cross the finish first and get a bit of airtime and get my name out there. I mean, my phone was going absolutely mental. So anyone that said well done to me or sent me a message and I haven't seen it, thank you very much. But loads of people ringing me, and like it was nuts. A lot of people that like you wouldn't expect to call you. Like some of the fun guys that I've not really met have just texted me out of the blue. So it was cool, you know. Like that's what I wanted to do. It's every kid's dream to make the main event. And I even said to Micky when we was on the start, everything was so relaxed and so calm and not rushed. It didn't even really feel like I was in the main. It just felt like it was just another race. But I think where I was racing so hard in the heat race and the LCQ, I smoked my clutch. Like it was.
You're maturing. You're maturing. Micky, what was you? I saw you down on the start line with him. So, what was the final word in his ear? Can you remember, like roughly, what was the last thing you said to him before he went out for the LCQ? Well, both of them really.
The LCQ is just, it was more at the start. You have to be so concentrated on that start, because you come around not inside the top 6, 7, you're not making it. It's too many decent guys to pass, you know. So just really to concentrate on that start and to make sure that if he was anywhere in a good spot, to just tuck inside, which he did well, and he come out inside the top 3, you know.
That move, that move. I don't know if you advised him to do that or you pre-planned that or whatever, but I was certainly watching it and thinking. And when you hit the brakes, I was literally watching, thinking, hit the brakes, Dylan, and turn up the inside, and it's exactly what he did. Then you had that carnage on the second corner, which obviously helped you out a bit.
My man smoked the guy on the Cowie. Smoked him. Just took him out the track and hit the triple in first gear. He just went off the jump like on first gear, and I was like, I didn't know whether to jump it and go over or like kind of just. So I just doubled it and I was going to jump off the track because I don't want no one to land on me. You know, I don't want to hurt myself. Yeah. This guy's framed it. Like he just went, and I was like, oh my God. And then that happened, and then I passed him on the rhythm where the thing was, and then just got going from there. But I even spoke to the guy after. He apparently framed it twice. Like, it's crazy.
So what happened after then? Directly after, obviously, you went and did your interview with Will Christian, I think. Did your little piece there, which we didn't actually get to see on the broadcast, which I was a little bit annoyed about because I wanted to see what you had to say.
Yeah, I think they was just asking me how I was feeling, and they knew it was my first main event and how the track was and all stuff like
They
that.
know you. They obviously know you're English and all that side of
Yeah,
things.
they know. Yeah. So they just asked, like, I just said, big shout out to everyone watching me back at home and supporting me, and everyone that's been part of the program. And she said, "What have you learned?" And I just said, "Have as much fun as possible." Because when you're having fun, I think that's when the results come. You know.
What have you learned? Not to stop in a dusty little town in the middle of nowhere with two blokes in a van is what you should have said.
Don't know. There
That's
could
what
be
you've
something
learned.
good there.
So, Micky, what went on when you came back? Because obviously you don't actually get too much time, do you, from the LCQ to the main? I mean, was you having any inkling at that point, Dylan, that the clutch was a bit on its way out or not?
No, I didn't know, because it was kind of just, I was just riding, and I think I was so nervous where I wasn't nervous, but I wasn't worried about like the bike. So, and I was so like on the start, I don't know why, but I was putting the bike in gear when like the 30-second board had just gone up, so it probably weren't helping. So,
Micky, what was you doing in between? Obviously, because you're acting as mechanic and stuff like that, you don't get much. I mean, you've done it before with Dylan, of course, but this was obviously the first time you made a main, so it made it a little bit a new experience for you both.
No, I'll correct you there, Jeff. I'm normally the team manager, so this is my first mechanic duties and my first main event. So any other privateers that want to make the main, just hit me up and I'll get you there.
I'll tell you what, you'll be taking over Roger DaCosta's job soon. I mean, you got ins there anyway, because your wife Megan works at KTM. So maybe start getting a foot in the door, Micky. You'll be managing the Red Bull team soon.
Maybe Ian Harrison. I'll go and get a job over there maybe after this week. But no, after the LCQ, there's no time whatsoever really. I think they do a bit of track maintenance and then they're back on for racing. So we literally rode back because the pits is not that close. So we rode back to the van. I told Dylan to stay, but he wanted to come and get a drink and stuff. So we rode back. I checked the spokes quickly and put some fuel in it, and we went straight back. So he was probably like the adrenaline was running high still. And, I think we had 15, 20 minutes from the LCQ to the main event.
Yeah. And then, so Dylan, obviously you got a relatively good start actually in the main. Not too bad.
The bike was so hot. It was so hot on the start. So when I was out riding, the clutch was so burnt. Like it was like, it's hard to ride Supercross with them type of things. Like when you look at Supercross on the TV, you think, it's kind of mellow. But when you're on the deck and you're on the floor,
you might. Most of us don't.
Yeah, when you're on the deck and you're on the floor and you see the whoops and the ruts in between the jumps, it's crazy. And I nearly had 2 big ones, and it was just I could smell the clutch. It was a shame because I wanted to finish and all that type of stuff, and it was my first one. But we put a new clutch in the bike, and they got a Hinton on order, which Pro Circuit sorted out for me. So that cost me a bomb.
That's nice. You need it though. You've literally just done that when you did that when before you came.
Yeah, Camilla's actually texting me now. Bless her. She's texting me on a Sunday, so everyone's trying to help.
Camilla is obviously she works from Pro Circuit, doesn't she? She's in charge of all the.
Yeah. She's a really nice person to deal with. She's helped me out a lot. Ollie was kind of obviously he's Austin's Faulkner's mechanic, so he's not.
Good old Ollie.
Camilla's kind of the middle person, but she's been great, in just helping me out. And Micky and even Megan, she's helped me out because you know what us boys are like. We're not too hot on the old paperwork.
Has she been doing your washing?
No, she just been doing the paperwork. I've been cooking and all that. Not cooking while I'm here, but she's cooked me up a few meals.
Is that true, Micky? Has he done all his own washing?
Yeah, I think he has actually. He's used all our laundry detergent, but yeah, he has. Cost us a load of money, but.
Oh, good stuff. So, what's the plan now, lads? You're there at the track now. Obviously, you're racing tomorrow. What's the vibe like there in general? Obviously, you didn't make the final, Dylan, but you're racing again Tuesday, and you've now got a taste for it. So hopefully, fingers crossed. But what was the vibe like in general at the first round? With all the other riders and stuff like that. And what was it like with the COVID thing? Is it proving problematic? I know they had crowding, didn't they, for the first time in a while as well?
Yeah. I mean, it was. I don't really know. I think there was a few people in the crowd. I think there was I think they said 25 to 30 capacity. Yeah,
percent. Yeah, I think it was
Or-
10,000.
Yeah, or whatever it is. But I think Micky said he could hear the crowd, and I could hear the crowd a little bit, which is good. And it's good to see some people in there. Hopefully this COVID thing can go away soon, and it's obviously not good, but.
But have you got to walk around with your masks on at all times?
Yeah, you have to have masks on. I think Micky, when he's standing in like the pit area, he has to stand on a certain spot and all of that type of stuff. So they're pretty hot on it. It's not really like you can just do whatever you want. You got always getting checked. It's a bit of a headache, but it's what we're living in at the moment. So it's been good.
So you two, what's the plan beyond this then? Micky, you're obviously staying out for tomorrow, and then you got another one on Saturday, right? Then you're both going to fly back, are you?
I think so. Or Dylan's going to drive back now. He was going to fly, but he don't know what he's doing.
It's all about the economy drive. He's full privateer, ain't you, Mush?
Yeah, well, I can't really let them drive on their own. Bless them.
No, that's fair enough. You're not a rock star.
Put my bike in the van, so if I lose $50 and go with them, it's not so bad.
That's it. Keep it real. So what are you doing after that then? So I can't remember the schedule. Have you got
Micky's going to go home in between the next. So he's going to race Tuesday. Micky's going to go home and come back before Saturday.
Right. Okay.
And then I'm going to drive home. So I'll probably be home Monday. And I guess we'll fly to the next race Thursday or
which is the next race? Because I can't remember the schedule. When's the one after? Where you after Houston? Where you at, Micky?
Indy, right, Micky?
Indy, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh right, yeah. So that's even further, isn't it? So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So the truck will go. The truck will go to Indy.
So how are you getting the bike? Who's taking the bikes then?
The All South team, Abby from All South. They're going to drive the truck. So the truck we're in now. So it's they have like a camper and then like a rig on the back. So we're staying in the camper and with Nick, and they're going to take the bike to the next round, and we're going to fly type thing. So appreciate the help from them, and that's kind of the deal. So the plan is just we don't really have a plan, to be honest. I can't really answer your question. We're just having fun with it.
I have a plan, Jeff.
Go on, what's the plan, Micky? Because let's talk sense. Because clearly, all he's thinking about is just getting out there and tearing a new one, isn't he?
The plan is to do these first 6, which is this 3 in Houston, which is last Saturday, Tuesday, and then Saturday again. And then there's a week between the next one, and there's Indy for 3 rounds. And then that's it. That was our plan, is to finish there. But if Dylan keeps going the way he's going and makes all these main events, I'm sure we'll try and finish off the season, But the plan is just to do the 6.
Yeah.
And because that's financially the cheapest way of doing it, because the round 7 is in Florida, which is miles away. And that's just one round there. So to drive out to Florida or to fly there for one round is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if he's top 15 in the points, and maybe we can figure it out to get him out there and do it, because
there's an incentive, isn't there? Yeah, and I mean maybe.
Yeah. There's actually 5 days from the last race, so I think it goes 3 rounds here, 3 rounds somewhere else, and then it's one in Orlando, and then it's like 5 days till I fly home on the February the 20th. So
there you go. Maybe if we could get, and I appreciate anybody watching. It's like, we're in tough times and money's tight and all that kind of stuff. But, maybe we can get something going if you're doing well, to just get, a 5 here, 10 there, whatever. Particularly that.
One of our friends, Revs from Stolen BMX.
Tell us about that. Yes, you've picked up not a new sponsor, because
he sponsored me before, like a few years ago, and we've always had a laugh. Like when I see him, we always have a beer and a catch up, like at the arena cross, and he for sure gets my old man hammered. So thank you. So
sorry, just for those people, I talked over you then. So who's the sponsor that's doing this?
It's Stolen BMX. Anthony Revel. He's people will know him. Like he sponsored Watley and SR75, and he offered to sponsor me and put the logo on the bike and stuff like that. And Moto Cuts, the graphic company that Micky emailed, they give me another set of graphics. So his logo will be on the bike, and he's come up with a bit of money. So thanks to him and all my other sponsors like Seven and Pod and Ben from Madison's and Pro Circuit and all them kind of guys, and RFX and Elliot, all them guys. Everyone's kind of been good, All that kind of stuff is like you don't get money, but the support's been there, you know, like even like Dunlop, they said to me, who are you? And I just kind of said, I'm just from England. They was like, what's your number? I was like,
some wide boy from Essex.
Yeah, just a wide boy from Essex. And they said, what's your number? I said 260. So they said, all right, we'll hook you up with some tyres for this round and we'll see how you get on. So hopefully I keep making the main, because there's pros and cons. If you don't make the main, you got to pay for stuff and you've lost money. If you make the main, you make money and get stuff for free. So there's something
Micky, he's learning fast, isn't he? Yeah, it's finally all starting to, you know, it's all starting to happen.
There's definitely no friends when you get on the track, that's for sure. I don't know any of these guys, so if there's a position up to be had, I'm not scared to cut one of their legs off. For
me, I just put $signs on the board when he goes by, and if we need a pass, I just put a few $signs on.
It must be a ginger thing, because me and Chatfield have kind of got the same mentality with money.
I don't know about that, because I haven't been out with Chatters enough, but I've been. Actually, I do know about that. Yeah, you are more generous than Chatters. I mean, literally.
I think Chatters.
Yeah.
Chatters is a tight geezer, because I let him win a head-to-head race once. When he crashed, I actually faked hurting my knee, and it's over and done with now. I don't care. But I actually faked hurting my knee for him to race, because he had the red plate, because I thought he was my friend, and he actually got the money from the people and didn't pay me. So I could have earned money. So that's how much of a good friend I am.
No, you are more generous. I've got to be honest. You have paid for a few meals and stuff.
But no, that's the kind of mentality you've got to have with this. If you're doing the privateer life, you do good, you get things free and you get money. If you don't, you've got a sad face and no money, and you got to pay for your tyres and stuff like that. But it's mad out here, you know. Like, there's a lot more people willing to help, and people have been generous, like 100%. Have hooked me up with some stuff, and Dunlop and Pro Circuit and all them people. Like, there's contacts between England and all that stuff. And like, I think Adam Chatfield speaks to him. Yeah, he definitely does.
He's gonna love that. It's true though.
It's true though. I think he's still got a little cupboard at Micky, so maybe I'll sell some of his stuff on eBay or something.
I bet he's got a safe tucked in there somewhere. He's probably got a little safe full of cash. That's funny. Listen, Clarky, who's obviously got behind you with this GoFund page. There you go. He's confident in your ability.
Another main. That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan. We're making goals as we go, and you know, I want to try and be like. I think I was 25 in the time. So me and Micky made a goal to be 20th in the times in practice, and then go from the heat race straight to the main, and then next week we'll go straight from in like top 15, and just try and make little goals. You know, we're little fish in a big pond here. Like, you got all these teams, and it's just me and Mick. Well, we've got a bit of experience around the bike, but these guys.
I'll tell you what.
We've just checked nut and bolts and tire pressures and threw in the clutch, you know.
You might be a little fish, but you're a happy little fish, and you're
for sure. We're having fun with it. Like, we're having a good time, and yeah.
And you're swimming in a bowl that many would love to be in. So
yeah, I'm very privileged to have everything.
Well, you're making it happen. You are making it happen yourself this time.
Yeah, I'm making it happen.
Obviously, listen, you know, like your dad and your mum who commented earlier on, and your nan and everybody, you know, everybody around your sport network has helped you get this far. But now, you know, you're picking up the reins and making it happen. So,
when you get 20 or so, you can't expect your dad to give you money all the time. You know, I kind of told him that. That's how it all starts, right? Like, in England, no one's earning money really. They all say, some people say they are, some people. The honest truth is, no one's earning money in England, or you have to get in Europe, or you have to come here to earn some sort of money, or go off on yourself without spending thousands of pounds on bikes and not getting no rewards. You know what I mean? Because motocross and supercross is dangerous. A lot of accidents happen, and there's not a lot of reward for it, you know. So doing stuff like that's why I kind of only ride supercross, because I said to my dad, I was like, "What are we doing? Because we're spending thousands of pounds for what? Where are we going to go with it?" And he was like, "Oh, you're right." It's like, let's just race supercross and do these races. Put a bit. I can kind of pay for it now, which I am. So I'm paying for it, and he's just enjoying it. You know, it's like there's no stress.
Listen, mate, I mean, you need to start making those finals, because although Micky's doing it for nothing at the minute, he hasn't invoiced you yet. So, you know, no, it's great.
Yeah, don't worry. I bought him a little dinner and that, see him over.
Well, listen,
He was
you
sweating
two,
about it.
I bet he was. I bet he was. I bet he was. At least he did pay for it. No, fair play. Right, you two. I won't keep you longer. You got stuff to do. We're coming up to nearly an hour of chatting, which has been great. All I can say is, obviously, listen. There's a connection between all three of us. We've known each other for a long time, so it's been good just catching up with you. Just to prove that fact as well. Look, Woodcock. Let me just move out. Can you see that? No, hold on. Which one is it? It's that one. In the let's just move. I don't know if you can see the crash helmets there. Let's move out of the way.
That one of my lids.
There you go. Look,
Yeah, I've definitely smashed my head in that one.
you have. Look, there's the evidence there of.
Yeah.
I think that
There's
was an
stolen bikes on the side. Look, that's how long he used to help me for.
Yeah, that is an over the.
Top.
That's when you got your Dirt Shark experience when we went to the Monster Boot Camp.
Yeah.
And this is where you nosed it in over a Where was that? I think that might have been Cullum. I think where you had an end-on-end type crash. Can't remember. But anyway, there it is.
And just before you go, thanks to everyone that stayed up and watched, and hopefully we can do the same again on Tuesday. You know, like it's I don't want to make it just a one-time thing. I want to be up the front and have a good crack at it this year. So hopefully someone can pick me up next year and we can go racing at a better level. But
well, yeah, and you've got work to do when you get back anyway. You know, you're now obviously Dirt Hub's resident test rider.
Yeah, I'm not too stressed about work at the minute, but I'm just kind of enjoying it. But when I get home, like I said, I'll be doing some stunt training and trying to get on the register for the stunts and just trying to do normal life there and kind of live like a rock star here. And
yeah. Well, we've got a load of bikes to test and stuff to do when you get back for Dirt Hub. So at least we got somebody.
All the people that helped me, Seven, obviously CMH, Pod, and Bell, and Cowie, and all them type of people. Stunt Flying, Seven. Who else? Ben from Madison's.
Yeah. It's like the generation game. You've got to try and remember them all. Do you see that, Micky? You can tell he's been in America. He's starting to reel off the old sponsors like they do.
Yeah, you got to when they're privateers. They don't get enough I don't know how you say it. They don't get enough shout out. You know, they just kind of get the gear on and no one says nothing. But everyone's done their little bit and they know who they are. And my nan and dad and my mum, they're all helping, so texting all the time. So yeah, hopefully we can put it in the main again on Tuesday and see that English flag up there.
I hope so. As long as you listen to your Uncle Micky, who's doing a great job. Mick, fair play. I mean, you know, you do need a medal to put up with this lad. He's matured now, but my God. And I'm sure Lenny's watching this and Dylan's mum and nan all going, yeah, but it's turned out all right, Dill, so keep going.
Yeah.
No, I'm like his dad, but we're like friends as well. It's like, I just want to see him do well. Like I'm proud of him for making the main, but we're going to come Tuesday, we're going to do better than what we did on Saturday night. Yeah, I
like that. Well, listen, guys, go and do your thing. Go and mingle about, Dylan, and put it out there.
Not too much mingling. This COVID, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Can't be doing too much mingling. This COVID.
No, exactly. But you're repping England until Max gets back in. Arguably the best and toughest series in the world. So fair play to you. Chris Stevens quite rightly said, "Careful with all this praising thing. You'll be like a lot of Americans soon, and you'll be doing this soon." You'll be praising the big man above soon as well.
Not too much.
No, steady now, steady. There you go. Melvin Homer. Yeah, that's one of our new sponsors. Look, Whole Shot Motorhomes.
Watching you guys closely. Thank you very much.
There you go. So Whole Shot are going to be sponsoring the Man in the Van series coming up. So there you go, Dill. Cool. You're making waves.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, right. It should be good.
I've had enough talking to you two.
All right, Jeff, we got to go. I got a YouTube how to put a clutch in.
Do you know what? I don't think you're lying with that. You go and get it done. That's privateer life.
You put all the steels in first and then all the fibers in last, right? So you do it in a bit.
No, I thought it was the other way around, wasn't it? Anyway, whatever. What could possibly go wrong? He doesn't use it anyway.
No, not much.
No, I definitely do it. Come out like a fried bit of chicken.
When he pulled in, I wasn't sure. I was like, he had a few big moments. I think he's just a little nervous, but when we whipped it out a minute ago, I was like, okay.
Oh, so it was genuine then. So it wasn't like he wasn't waving the white flag then. It was legit.
Well, I knew it was going to be real as if he actually bought the clutch or not, because if he buys the clutch, then I knew he had to change it.
Oh dear! I tell you what,
I just spent dough on a Hinson clutch. She's coming.
I tell you what, I'm missing all the fun. Talking to you two, really, I wish I was out there traveling with you two. It'd be a right laugh. But we'll do that at the end of the year and catch up over your place then, Micky. Micky, keep up the good work. Obviously, I hope when that you can keep the business going and COVID and pick up after COVID, because you've done a great job with California Motocross Holidays. So, and I highly recommend it. I know Micky's a mate, but seriously, if you want a trip to California, go and hook him up on California Motocross Holidays. You'll be glad you did. Woodcock, you little rat. I'll speak to you later. We got work to do. Not getting away with it that early. Good luck for tomorrow, guys. We'll all be watching. We'll all be behind you, and have a great time, basically, and stay safe.
Thank you very much. Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Nice one. See you later, guys. Nice one. So there's Micky. He's off to go and do his clutch. Woodcock's going to grow a beard or do what he's got to do. Go through all his new 7 swag. Very nice. There he goes. And that's me. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in for the first Dirty Talk of 2021. Hoping to be coming back most Mondays now, 8 o'clock. We'll be announcing who we got coming on next Monday's show shortly over the rest of this week. And then we might touch base again with Dylan further down the line. But we're also going to be talking a lot about AMA Supercross, obviously, while it's running. So future shows, I want, if we could, obviously, if you've got an opinion, let's start using this as a forum to talk about all your opinions about AMA Supercross, who you think's going to win. And as the series evolves, we can talk about that. And hopefully we'll be starting to start racing and getting ready for a motocross season here in the UK soon. I know there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes, obviously involved with Team Green. So, there's still a lot getting all the teams together and everything, and aiming that we're going to be starting racing with the Nationals end of March, early April as planned. So everybody have a great evening. Most of all, everybody stay safe. And listen, whether you think it's a hoax or whatever, just do what you can to get us through this bloody shit as quickly as you can. It's not asking a lot. Just use a bit of common sense when you're out and about. And hopefully come end of March, April, we'll be in a position, by that I mean we, the sport of off-road motorcycling in the UK, to all get back doing what we love. But we won't be able to do that if we start getting out there bombing around places and tracks that aren't open and just basically getting a real bad rap for the sport. That's not going to help us at all. So be patient. All good things come to those who wait, or so I've been told by my granddad for many years, and I do believe it. So stick with it, guys. We'll all be back doing what we love soon. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next Monday. Don't know who yet, but we'll announce that soon for more chat. And it'd be great to get more of your opinions next Monday at 8 o'clock on episode 2 of Dirty Talk 2021. Right. I'm going to go and get some belated dessert because I didn't have dessert. So I'm going to go and treat myself to something sweet. Right. I'm out of here. Stay safe, everybody. And I'll see you next week. Nice one. Okay. That's where we go in here. See, I'm a bit out of practice now. See, I haven't gone yet, have I? Let's remove.